House of Cards Season 1. I want to be completely honest with you guys. When this show came out back in 2013, I tried really hard to get into this show, but something just didn't quite work out for me. Frank Underwood wasn't a character that really appealed to me, Claire's storyline felt inconsequential, and everyone else as the supporting cast were doing their own thing with ultimate gain in mind, and I couldn't quite understand it because one thing's for sure, I am not huge into politics, so my heart was not in it. So here we are in 2017 and season 5 is right around the corner, and after a hell of a year watching real politics make its way into everyone's lives, I felt maybe I had one more try in me to give this show a shot once more. It totally came to me at the right time. House of Cards Season 1 is truly a great show to watch. Let's assume you're into politics, and by extension political shows. It would be safe to assume that House of Cards would be right up your alley. That's unless you saw it and it really wasn't your thing and you like political shows. Take my word for it when I say it is not of the norm for me to recommend shows like these because politics is hard for me to follow. Wishy-washy, debatable, and very hard to get behind due to the many lingering and overbearing viewpoints. But we follow through the eyes of Frank Underwood, a seasoned Democrat from South Carolina who is a congressman and the House Majority Whip, who wishes and is backed by the right people to make him Secretary of State the moment the show begins. But the conflict really starts when the people he backed don't make him Secretary of State, and he exacts revenge against all who wronged him. And right beside him, Claire Underwood, his wife, backs him up 100% of the way as she too has her own motivations. She runs a non-profit organization that brings awareness to people about the environment, mainly clean water. If you feel her side of the story is pointless, give it time. Her role meets with Frank's as it progresses, but trust me, I felt it was just as uninteresting at first until things progressed. Let's talk about the story, have you not clicked me off already. I can't cover everything, but the important factors of the show really revolve around the personal goals of our leads and a few supporting characters. I.e., for example, Zoe Barnes is a reporter trying to get up in the world and surprisingly makes an ally out of Frank Underwood, who helps her become more than she ever dreamed. But she is also very ambitious as she is mature than I make her out to be. Apart from that is Peter Rousseau, a congressman, unintentionally becomes a pawn of Frank's ultimate plan. Peter is reckless mostly in alcohol and drugs, so when the story focuses on him, you gotta pay attention to him just as much as Zoe or Claire. These are the two characters we watch, and I have to be completely honest. These two will be the perfect people to watch in this hellish world of politics because, Lord knows, you can't be the nice guy and try to get what you want in this world. But because of that, you begin to understand how Frank and Claire operate in this world. These two are in a business-like relationship, and they do genuinely love each other. So when it comes to where they need to go, and what they do may or may not come as a surprise to you. They may polarize your views, or for at the time, just in season alone, you might find aspects and traits of who they are more or less growing on you. For sure, my own opinion went from not liking Claire at all to genuinely respecting her, but not liking her any more or less. The truth is, she is a solid form of a character who knows who she is, and there is no changing that. Imagine someone you don't like, but can't help but respect. As for Frank, he is even more of the rougher sell here. The story plays out making you dislike him, like him, and then dislike him all over again. He raises people up, plays on your weaknesses, and then it's chow time. All because he knows what he wants and he'll stop at nothing to get it. The story isn't crazy hectic, but it is politically driven, so if it takes some time for you to get into the story, it wouldn't be a surprise. It took me several years to get to this point. Maybe not for you, but it did for me. There are a lot of shows out there that give us great characters, depending on how the show is made, from Game of Thrones to Orange is the New Black. And I can imagine many characters are not supposed to be loved or liked at all, but they do become your absolute favorites. The shades of gray come pooling through the moment a character finally reveals why they are the way they are. Here, Frank Underwood blatantly tells you who he is and what he is in various events and people by breaking the fourth wall. Here, Frank Underwood blatantly tells you who he is and what he sees in various events and people by breaking the fourth wall. So many of you have heard about that, and if you know what I speak of, you either love it or you hate it. It really isn't about the likeness of the said storytelling's maneuver, it's a part of the show. Fourth wall breakage happens rarely in films, but when it does, it's actually kind of utilized well. Hell, look at Deadpool. The fact is, breaking the fourth wall in this show flows so well within this season, you almost forget he's talking to you. It's like a device to know his inner thoughts. Overall, I feel like this show was coming to me at the right time considering everything that I've been through in the last year when it came to our real political anguish and turmoil. I can't help but recommend it because it's very good at what it does. Many people have seen this show already. I'm only just late to the bandwagon and letting other people know if they're interested and want to know about it. This is my review for you guys. As for flaws in the show, I can only comment on the storytelling in such a way where it may focus on some characters you're not sure of their relevance, but in the end, they come through. The show asks you to be patient. Furthermore, positions of the characters and what they do are usually explained later, so you can't know everything all at once. But that's not really a flaw. In the end, if the House of Cards Season 1 was a rough sell for you, trust me, I see it. But now that I'm into it, I can have a whole new mindset for it, and it really spoke to me. I'm gonna give House of Cards an A. So this is my first season in the whole House of Cards reviews. I am leading up all the way to season 5, and then when season 5 comes out a couple of days later, I'm pretty sure I'm going to give you a review of season 5 of House of Cards. This is interesting. This is actually kind of fun. So if you guys like this review, please subscribe. Tell me what you think of House of Cards season 1 or the seasons thereafterwards, and I'd love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.